Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you want to know how to get this look as a beginner, then keep on watching. In this video, you're going to learn how to recreate this look, which is perfect for work, online meetings, for school, but you're also going to see the tutorial where I go step by step into every part of the application process as to what are the tools that I'm using, how to use the tools, and what are the products that I'm using with them. I break it down as clear as I can, so if you are a beginner in the world of makeup, you could watch this video, have an understanding of what products you should be looking for if you're interested in purchasing some. So here we go into no makeup, and I will go through step by step the whole process in order to achieve this final look. The first step in any makeup routine is moisturizer, believe it or not. Even if you're not going to use foundation or if you're using a tinted moisturizer, you want to make sure your skin is nice and hydrated. The makeup will adhere better, last longer, and you'll look healthier. The first one I have here is by Physicians Formula. It is the 24 karat gold collagen moisturizer, and it actually has little gold flakes inside. Hopefully that's kind of showing up. Really do like this one. And the other one that I recently got that is fantastic is this one. It's the L'Oreal Collagen Moisture Filler. It's thicker than the other one and does a great job of filling in some of these lines and everything here. It's not necessarily, I'm going to put even just a little bit here. It's not necessarily a eye cream, but the scent is really nice, not overpowering. It's very subtle, but I always love a lot of moisture under here because this is where I get a lot of my fine lines. So first step, moisturizer. Now, the next thing I'm going to go into is foundation. You don't have to use foundation, obviously, if you have really great skin, or even if you don't have the greatest skin, but you feel comfortable enough, you don't need to sit there and cake it on and put a centimeter layer of foundation on. Foundations have really come a long way, and if you've been put off in the past because you've seen somebody with foundation and it looked really cakey and it would just totally turned you off, well, that particular person maybe didn't apply it right. Maybe they're not using the right one for their type of skin. I have normal to dry skin, more on the dry side, but I will go through some steps today. Even if you have oily skin, what are some extra steps you're going to do that I personally don't do? So when it comes to the foundation, I have 4 options in front of me here, and these are all at the drugstore and they're all affordable. And the first one here is by Wet n Wild. This is their stick foundation, the Photo Focus. This one is the stick version of the Photo Focus. This one here, I believe this one's like $5 or $6. It's fantastic. It smells like paint, but it's great. This is one of the newest ones in the past couple months. This is the Dewy Foundation. So if you have drier skin, you might want to go into this one. And the other one, which just blew up YouTube and the internet when it came out, and it really is as fantastic as people say it is the L'Oreal Infallible. I have about 4 or 5 shades of this, so no matter what time of year it is, I have some of this. This one is a little bit more on the pricier side. Here at Shoppers, it can go anywhere from like $21. You can get it at Walmart for about $14 or so. I'd say head to Walmart. If you are a true beginner, what I want you to focus on is to not put too much on. For today, I'm going to go into the stick because I feel like this would be less intimidating and a good entry point for a lot of people. I haven't even put any primer. We're not talking about primers. This is basic stuff that will get you a beautiful look. My future videos will have more tutorials and things where we'll go into various looks we can create, but right now we're going step by step. With your stick, you can use the Maybelline stick foundation, which is fantastic. There's a lot of drugstore sticks that are really great. What I like to do, we're gonna keep it really, really minimal. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna put a line here, put a line there, here, and here, a little bit here, down the nose, and the sides, on the upper lip. Now you might think that was a lot, but really it's okay because it will blend. There was a lot of spaces we didn't put any. Now the brush that I'm going to use, what you're looking for is a flat top, densely packed brush, okay? This is from Beige Cosmetics. I did have a drugstore one, but this is affordable in the set. Beige is a great option if you're ever interested in buying a brush set. So something like this that's meant for foundation or for the face, and we're gonna use this all over. And we're just gonna go into the face and go in circles. And the idea is to blend what I just put on the face. And you want to make sure you get up into the ears here. And you want to make sure you don't forget that part you just did on the neck. So we just want to blend this here. Now make sure you get the front of your nose and the front. You can also push the stippling motion like this, because sometimes swiping can take away too much of the product. And you can see where you deposited it and making sure that you're blending it into areas where you want it to go and where you didn't put any. Sorry, I'm using like an hourglass for my mirror. The thing with drugstore makeup is that a lot of them don't have mirrors that come with it. When you're dealing with foundation, another thing is we did put some here, but you do want to make sure to take it behind your neck, especially if you wear your hair up a lot and you want to bring it down. If you're wearing a turtleneck or something that day, you might want to put it on first and then do this step. And then at the end of the day, you might want to take your makeup off and then take off your sweater. And let's do this right here. What I like about the Wet n Wild is that, that was on there for a good 2 minutes and it's still blending, no problem. And that gave some nice coverage. And of course, you can go back in and put more. I put a little bit more here because I have some darker pigmentation going on here. I just wanted to even it out. Doesn't look really like I'm wearing any makeup, and it's just nice even tone, and it's just soft, velvety to the touch. But of course, if you wipe your fingers, you will be getting some of the foundation on you. So you have to be mindful of that. And this next step would be for people with oily skin. You're gonna see a lot of loose powders around. This is the Maybelline Fit Me, and this is the Photo Focus Wet n Wild. It's turning into like a Wet n Wild video. Do not do what others do about dabbing sponges and setting it here and baking and all that kind of stuff. What this stuff is meant to do is if you take a light face brush, just any old face brush, and you lightly go into it like this. And what I tend to do is then go into the lid, okay, and a lot will kind of come up. What this is going to do is going to set the makeup. So I said before where it's going to transfer and all those kinds of things. Well, if you have this here and you lightly go here, again, I never take it here because I don't want this powder under my eye. I know people are like, oh, but it'll prevent creasing. But if you have wrinkles under your eyes, you already have creases, so you don't want to make it worse. Once you dabbed it in, you pushed it in a little bit, you go around and you kind of blend it. I'm about to put bronzer and blush here, so I'm not worrying about it right there. Although you could, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna do it. And just a little bit up top. And that's it. If you have oily skin, like I said, I recommend you do this step always. If you have normal to dry skin, you can do this, depends on the foundation, or you can totally skip it and go straight on to bronzer. Using a powder will also create a very airbrush kind of look. Regardless of what your foundation did, if you do a nice light layer of this powder and move it all over, it can really blur all the pores and really create a nice and flawless look. Before the powder, you could have put concealer, but again, we're keeping it really basic and I don't really use concealer all that much. And for the next step, we're going to go in with bronzer. I have two options here. I have the Physicians Formula. This is just the bronzer, it's called. There's a deep bronzer and a sunset bronzer. The sunset bronzer has a bit of shimmer in it. The deep bronzer is very deep. I keep in this one. This is like the basic one that they have, as this is beginner, and this might be your first time using a bronzer. And I also have this one here. I mean, this is considered the contouring palette, but you can use this really lightly and go in. What is bronzer supposed to do? Well, essentially you are bronzing up your skin. You are subtly changing certain points of your face so that they seem darker, and it's a play on the shadow and the light of what your face looks like. If I put darkness here, then all of a sudden my cheekbones come forward. Darkness in the back and makes light come forward. But the trick is, and why people shy away from this, is that you just can't put a line of dark here because it's too harsh. And the idea is that with your brush, you are to be blending, and so that if someone were to look at you, they'd be like, I can't see the actual line of where that starts. And that's what makes it look natural. Because you have to think, when you actually blush, like when you actually go red, you can't, it's all in here, but there's no line to it. It just kind of fades. And that's what we're going for. So I'm going to go in with the Butter Bronzer. I'm going to go into an angled brush like this. Again, this is from Beige Cosmetics. This is the V3, and it's a really loose. Sometimes you can find these kind of brushes and they're more densely packed. This is nice and loose, so I know I'll be able to kind of really push it up against my skin. The nice thing with this is that you can layer it up. So start really light and just kind of tap it through here. Always kick it off, and then if you're feeling extra nervous about it, you can tap it on the back of your hand and then go in and see what's going on. And you want to angle the brush like this, that long point is here. You want to kind of find where your cheekbone is and where it kind of stops, and I can kind of feel my jaw right in there. And that's kind of where I want to be, and I want to just put it right here. And I want to keep it really far back, like it hasn't even, reached where my eye is yet. It's just there. Pat the product down, and then I blend it. And I keep them small circles so that I'm not blending up into here, and I'm just right here. And then we take a look. Again, I already have pigmentation there, so it can be a little tricky to see. But again, I went really light and I tapped it off, and I tapped it off with my hand. So it's easier to build up than to take away. So let's keep building. So I went in again a second time. And there we go. Once I have it here deposited, then I feel more comfortable bringing it a little forward. You just want it to be a straight line. Like if you're following here, my cheekbone, just following it right there, but not too forward. And even here with my hair behind me, it's almost like it's catching the darkness there. And again, but the light is coming straight at me. It's a light from a window. No ring lights on this channel. We do real makeup here. Yeah, I would love a ring light to get rid of all these wrinkles, but that's not real. If I'm gonna do these tutorials, I want people to know that I'm a real person and not plastic. Same thing, stiffening it down, and even that you can see. Now that might be too much, so then you go into here, wipe it away the back of your hand, and then blend. So you're not adding any more product now, you are blending what is already there. But I will show you what you can do if you happen to put too much and you don't like where it's going. You can go into your foundation brush and you can lightly go over it, and it really does tone it down. You don't even have to add any more foundation. And that's the basics with the bronzer. There's an additional step that you can do with your bronzer if you feel comfortable at this point. Maybe you've done this tutorial a couple times and you feel more adventurous now, which is fantastic, which is you can do the same thing, tap in, swirl around, and then you're just gonna go into here and bronze up your hairline. And I'm gonna do that right now. If you don't wanna do this step, then you can omit it. It does what the bronzing of the cheek does. It just creates a little bit more dimension, and it makes this part here come out more. You can bring it all the way down here. I mean, I'm going like right into my hair. You can see how my baby hair is going crazy here. But that's what happens. It's just something so simple like that. And all of a sudden now this part looks highlighted. Like I put concealer on, like a lighter concealer. I'm like, no, I'd rather play with the shadows than play with the light. And now at the beginning, I highly suggest you use the powder bronzer rather than delving into creams and creams contours and stuff. That's a whole other tier. We're not there yet. We're just gonna stick here, and I think I like where we are. So now we have our foundation. We have a little bit of powder all over our face, lightly dusted. We have a little bit of bronzer giving us some shape here. Now we need a little bit of blush. Now we gotta bring some life into our face and that healthy glow. And that healthy glow you can achieve with blush. I have quite a few options in front of me. I have a CoverGirl blush here in the shade Peach Gilt. I have an Essence blush here in the Berry Connection. That's cute. I have another blush here by Physicians Formula called Vintage Rouge. And I have another Physicians Formula one called Natural. I think I'm gonna go with this one today because it looks so cute, but it really is so nice and so natural. And you can tell that because there aren't a lot of dark pink pigments in here. Let's bring it a little closer. So you are gonna get a nice subtle color with this. Again, I'm going in with an angled brush here. You can use the same one as before if you clean it off well enough, but this one here is clean. I'm gonna go into here, gonna swirl it around, tap, tap. Didn't get too much. Let's try it again, tap, tap. I have a little bit on my brush here, but with blush especially, no matter who I use, I always tap it down first. Now, this part will depend on the shape of your face, but it's generally a rule that wherever your pupil is, you don't want to go far into it. It really changes the look of your face. You want to stay here, in this area here, and then back. We don't want to go all 80s about it and go up in here, and it's just right here. But the same rule applies like what we did when we bronzed. Tap it off. We find where that moment is, and it's right here. This is where we need a mirror. Where is that spot? It's right here, and I like kind of dabbing it down, depositing that color. And then when I like what's happening, then I start blending it. So there's no surprises, and I know what's already on the brush. You can already see the difference. No blush and blush. Super healthy. I don't know what's going on over here. So again, you can just swirl it here, tap, tap, click it off, and tap it, and go a little here. And I kind of swirl in the direction to go up. I wouldn't go backwards because I'm bringing it from the down up, and you want to keep everything higher. So which way am I going? Counterclockwise. And then when I do it this way, my hand is moving clockwise. And there we go. The reason you see so many different blushes out there is because this one is quite pinky. They can be apricot, they can be berry toned, they can be anything under the sun. That's why there's so many. It really depends on your eye look, your tone of your skin, maybe your hair color, the outfit you're wearing, all these things. That's why there's so much. Now the next thing I'm going to do is the eyes. I do have an eyeshadow palette here that we're going to use. It's an affordable ColourPop eyeshadow. You can follow the same tutorial along with any eyeshadow palette that you have from the drugstore. I'm going to keep it really simple. We're not doing brows because we're keeping it basic, and most people have eyebrows, so we're just going to leave it the way it is. We're going to do our eyeshadow, put a tad bit of eyeliner on, and then we're going to go with mascara and lips. So this is the palette I'm going to be using today. This is the Give It To Me Straight. This is the inside. These are all considered neutrals. We're going to stick to something, maybe this little L right here from this guy, which is called Frank, all the way up to Straight Up. We only need 3 brushes for this look. So the first brush you're going to need is a crease brush. It looks like this, and it's fluffy, and it can be from any brand. The next one is similar, but is smaller than the original one. Here they are. And the last one that you will need is a flat shader brush. The ones I'm using, 2 of them are from Sephora, and this one is a Morphe Jaclyn Hill. Any Morphe brush can do this. I believe they sell these without the Jaclyn Hill name on it. The Sephora ones came in a set, but again, many different brands sell crease brushes and all over shader brushes. So with that first brush that I showed you, you were gonna go into the lightest shade here. This one is called Matter of Fact. I'm gonna just roll it around so that it's coated all over. You're gonna tap it off, and you're gonna grab your mirror. And what you wanna do right now is you wanna start right in the outer corner there, right where your eye socket kind of is. And same thing, you're gonna dab this brush down. And once it's down, then you're in a place to start moving your brush. And it's such a light color that you're not gonna see, bam, all this crazy payoff. So you're gonna go into it again. Same thing, dab, but now you're gonna start dabbing and going right into the crease, all the way to the inner lid. And the same thing, you're gonna do mini circles and mini circles and mini circles as you do a little windshield wiper and you move it all the way to the side. And already you can see a difference between the 2 eyes. Do the same thing on the other eye. So you dab it here. Once it's dabbed, now you're gonna start blending. I am blending clockwise again. I'm gonna go in a little bit more. We want it to be even, so whatever you did on the one side, you have to do on the other side. A little windshield washer motion there. The reason I'm doing these little mini circles, this is the blending part. Tapping it down is depositing. But once the shadow is there, I need to blend it so that nobody can be like, oh, I see a line, that's where it starts. I don't want them to know where it starts. I want them to think it's natural. Next, we're gonna go into this other lighter color here. It's just a step up kind of from this one here, but I don't wanna go orange, I don't want pink. I'm keeping it really neutral. Not only is this a beginner tutorial, but this is an everyday work look. And I'm going to do the same thing. Depositing that color. Just a little bit more. And that's it. That's all I want to do on that eye. So I'm doing the same thing I did on with the other shade. I'm just not staying there as long. Deposit it here. Start blending. So now I'm blending and depositing. Then at some point you have to stop, look at yourself in the mirror and say, is it even? And if not, you have product on here and you can fix it up. Now, this is the part that might scare you, but stick with me and it'll all work out. See this dark color right over here? You're gonna go in with that kind of fluffier brush, but because it's got that flatness to it, you're gonna go into it. You're gonna tap, tap, tap. And there's gonna be a little bit there, put a little bit more, because you're gonna tap it off. So that no more shake off. And then what happens is, your eye closed, and with this guy, be very careful. It's gonna sit on your outer lid, just like that. And now what you're gonna do is tap, like a cat, just like pawing at your eye, just like pet, pet, pet. And I'm kind of dragging it down. And what happens is, I've now isolated where I've deposited all that color. Now what I'm doing here is I'm manipulating the shape. I wanna make sure it's not just in that one little space, but that it's right to the lash line, that it's up towards the crease, and that because I have so many folds in my eye, I want to make sure that my eyebrow is raised so I get into all those places. And now when you back away, you've created that darkness and there's light in front. So there's that play again of darkness and light. We're going to go in and clean that up a little bit, but the color is deposited, so now we can move on to the other side. You kind of want to remember how many taps did you do. I think I did 4, so I'm going to go like 1, 2, 3. Actually, I think I did 3. And you want to make sure that the pressure you're doing it with was the same as the other side. Again, those are things that come with practice. So you go here, and you got this little paw, and it's just touching the outer edge right there. And then I see where it is. Fix it, I manipulate it. I don't want to go past half of my eye. Everything is on like the outer third of my eye. So these are like fast little cat motions. Your cat's going, meh, meh, you know how they do. If you've had a cat, you know what I'm talking about. Now when I'm looking in the mirror, I can see that this darkness comes out a little bit further than this side. So this is where we can fix that. I don't want to go in with any more color. There's already a lot of color still in here, and I know so because look how dirty the brush is. There we go. And the next part that's super fun that anyone at any level can do is using your finger. So I'm going to go into this shimmer right here straight up. You generally want to use your finger when dealing with shimmers. They stick better. Not to say you can't do it with mattes, but it's just so much better with shimmers. I'm going to concentrate on the middle of my lid. And I stay towards the bottom. I'm doing the same motion I did with the brush just a minute ago. I'm doing short little dabs. Pressing, not hard, but enough so that it can get the product off of my finger. I can't be too gentle about it. Okay, now for the last step, going into this white shimmer right here with your ring finger and going in really lightly, just in the inner corner right there. So I deposited the color, but now I'm just making sure it's all over that little triangle that's going on here. And I want to overlap with that other color. So that again, we don't have a stark line, but it looks blended, but we're doing it with our finger, not a brush. And you know what, I lied, I am going to go in with a little bit of an eyebrow pencil. This is by Essence. I just want to fill in, I really need to fill in mine, because I am going on after. Don't worry, you don't have to. It's going to be transparent that I did fill them in the tiniest bit. Now with eyeliner, unless you feel very comfortable and have practiced a lot, go with liquid eyeliner. I always used eye pencils and things like that. I'm going in with the L'Oreal Infallible Never Fail eyeliner. This is what it looks like. Here. And it's a retractable. So you just want the littlest bit up right here, and we're going to stay very close to the lash line. We're not creating a wing or anything. We just want to emphasize the lash line. And sometimes just doing even the last half there of your eye can be enough. Depending on the look, I used to do that a lot too, because it kind of works with my shape of my eye. You may find it helpful to kind of hold your eye. You don't want to pull too much or at all, but I find I need to. I'm so used to using liquid liners. And it just goes to the lash line. You don't want to have to create a wing or anything like that. Way too advanced. We're not there yet. And there we go. Really just open the eye all up. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to go into some mascara. If you've been watching any of my videos, you already know I love the L'Oreal Unlimited Mascara. And it's drugstore, it's affordable, and it looks great. And it won't be too much for a beginner. It won't overpower your look. You can just keep it really simple, and you can keep it towards the outer lashes. I'm just going to go over maybe like one pass over each section. We're creating a fast look. And you can see right there how my eye is opened and how here it feels very closed. All it's really done is not only lengthen a little bit, it just got them out of the way. It just lifted them higher. And there we go. Now you don't have to do this step, but this step is about highlighter. So you may have some that's part of an eyeshadow set that's in front of you, and here's how you can use it. So I have here a Maybelline Master Strobing Stick. This one, it's in a stick form. You can do this and kind of dab it and then put it where you need it to put it. But we're going to stick with the powder ones for today. I'm going to go into this Essence one here. If I'm trying to keep it like really affordable, and Essence stuff is great. It's one of the newer ones they have. I like trying to match the tone, so this look is in the more neutral territory. The camera's picking it up as very orangey. So I'm going to go into this one here. I'm going to go into a little fan brush. You can even use a large eyeshadow brush, or even a brush like this. It's a larger crease brush. Really, any brush will do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dust it. You know what? Into this orangey one right here. I'm just going to do this, kick it off. And when I turn this way, just at the high point of the cheek, and right there, you don't want to take it here, it's on the further end here. There we go. So you can always see it on one side a little bit more. Again, you don't have to do this step. It's just an option. You could even do this with some eyeshadows, depending on the look you're trying to create and the type of eyeshadow it is. So now we're almost at the end, and the last thing we need to figure out is the lipstick. I have some of my favorites with me right now that I want to share with you. The first is the Liquid Catsuit here by Wet n Wild. This is Send Nudes. This is one of my favorites, but I probably will use this. Well, I don't know. We'll see. It's flattering no matter what look I'm wearing or what I have on my face. I have this one by Essence. It's so worn, but it's the lip pumping gloss in Charm. No matter what I put this over, it looks fantastic and like $1,000,000. I can't get over how good that looks on top of so many things. Another one is the Rimmel lipstick here. I love this nude. It's fantastic. It's a matte and the lasting time is fantastic. If you want something a little bit more sheer than that, you might want to try the Color Riche here by L'Oreal. This is Glossy Fawn. This one is really great too. And the last one I want to share is I have so many favorites, but this one I bought a few weeks ago and I can't say enough. It's been in almost every video. I can't get over how nice this is. But I'm gonna go with the Glossy Fawn here. Even though when you see it, you might be like, that's too dark. I would never buy a brown. What is that? It's about nude. Nude colors go well on so many skin tones and hair colors and things. And we're trying to be neutral enough, like nude neutral, so that it matches our eyes, it matches our blush. The nice thing about this is that if you are new to the world of makeup, it feels like a lip balm. It's not going to be all dry and you're going to think your lips are cracking or whatever. It's just a nice subtle color and you see it's matching the eyes there, and I've never put that whole combo together, so like I didn't know that. I just knew what I was going for. This tutorial took a little bit of time, but of course this is me going step by step about each product, the tool you need. I only used a handful of items. You could probably do this look, and no word of a lie, in 7 or 8 minutes. And I feel like I'm going to have to challenge myself and see how fast I could recreate this look. So that's it for me on this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned some things from it. If you have any questions or if there's something else you want to see in another video, please comment down below and let me know. I would love to be able to help if I can. I'm not a professional makeup artist, but I think I know enough that I could give some advice. Thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. Please don't forget to like it and to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell so you never miss my future videos or other parts to this series. That being said, I hope you and your families are all doing well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!